The middle-aged man sat barefoot in front of the devilish game machine. The other spectators were shocked by his actions. Then, he pulled out 10 million and exchanged it for a single marble card. People around him were stunned by what he had done. Each marble inside this machine was worth 4,000, and if the man's luck was good enough, he could use the marbles he bought to win the ultimate grand prize worth 580 million. However, the machine had 3 extremely difficult levels. The first level was called the Forest of Nails. If you fired 100 marbles at once, only one marble would likely make it through. After struggling through the first level, you would then face the tooth guard in the second level, which would continuously block the marbles from progressing. This level only allows one marble to pass through out of 300. If, by some miracle, you made it to the third level, you would fall into utter despair. The first rotating disc had 3 holes, and only by passing through the red hole could you reach the second disc. The second disc had 4 holes, and most people would stop here. Of course, the middle-aged man was no exception. Within just a few minutes, he had already spent 5 million. Next, he decided to relax a bit and ordered a bottle of beer from the waiter. This was the beginning of his secret plan. At this moment, someone holding a beer was slowly approaching him. Meanwhile, the marbles continued to shoot out from the machine. One of them successfully reached the first rotating disc. The man seemed to have stepped into a streak of good luck, as the marble didn't stop there. It passed over the second disc and went straight into the final layer. He quickly handed the beer to his companion, Kaiji, and then clasped his hands together, praying that it would pass through the third disc. As expected, his luck wasn't quite enough. He showed a disappointed expression, then quickly snatched the beer back. The staff monitoring the machine didn't notice anything unusual, but in fact, Kaiji and the middle-aged man were working together. The man had studied this casino for years, and the machine in front of him was actually one that could control the marble's trajectory. This meant that the casino had preset the path, and theoretically, it was impossible to win the grand prize. However, even though the casino was cheating, the man had found a way to break the system. He took out a can of beer, and using the magnet hidden in the bottom, he was able to attract the marbles. By digging a hole in the bottom of the can and inserting the magnet, he could interfere with the marble's trajectory at the crucial moment. By exchanging the can with his partner, the plan seemed perfect. All he had to do was wait for the marble to enter the third level, then use the magnet to change the path. At the right moment, he could swap the can back amidst the chaos, avoiding detection. With this thought, he felt the grand prize was within his reach. The marbles were now entering the third level, successfully passing through the first and second rotating discs. The atmosphere in the room was boiling, and the man slowly moved the can closer to the machine. A slight adjustment to the trajectory would greatly improve his chances of winning. Everyone held their breath, waiting for a miracle, but the marble cleverly avoided the prize hole and slipped away. The man's fantasy shattered in an instant, and he suspected that the magnet's power wasn't strong enough. The staff smiled without saying anything. In gambling games, no one can be sure who the prey and who the hunter are until the very last moment. At this point, the man had already lost all 10 million, and his marble card was used up. He only had half his original money left. Reluctantly, he pulled out another 10 million, and the casino was more than happy to accept this behavior. At this moment, the waiter seemed to say something, and Kaiji quickly followed. Unbeknownst to them, the casino had already investigated the man's background, and the machine had more than one layer of security. Kaiji realized the plan was exposed, and rushed back to the scene to persuade the man to quit, but the man's luck seemed to have returned, as he made it to the third level.